Hi, this is Steve Rigolosi, and I am here today to review for you The DETLING SECRET by Julian Symons. This is copyright 1982 by Viking, so it is a late career book for him. I should mention, too, that I've heard his last name pronounced Symons, but I've looked it up, and it looks like it is Symons. So that's why I am saying Symons rather than Symons. So Symons is a extremely well-known and highly respected writer and essayist and novelist and critic. He did it all and is really had quite a remarkable career. And he's one of the reasons I like doing these videos, because you just don't hear much about him these days. And that's really sad, because he is a great writer. One of his specialties, or something that I really like about him, is that every book of his is different. You never really know what to expect going in. And I love that. I don't necessarily need a series character. Some of them go on far too long, let's face it. But Symons was always trying new things and taking chances and not sort of resting on his laurels or a formula. So The DETLING SECRET is one of several books of his that is set in the Victorian era. And it's interesting that the cover says a novel. It doesn't say a novel of suspense or a mystery or a crime novel. It just says a novel. So I guess you could classify this as maybe a novel with murder or a novel with crime. It's a little hard to summarize because I really don't like to give spoilers, but the plot takes place around an English family, a well-to-do family, the Detlings, who are sort of minor aristocracy. They have 3 children, one of whom is a daughter who's about to marry a man who is a member of Parliament, but is considered, below the class of person that the parents would want the daughter to marry. Another of the children is a son. He's the oldest. He works for a financier in what the Londoners call the city, and the other is a daughter who is an art student. So the first part of the book really feels more like a family portrait, a slice of life, almost Jane Austen-like. In terms of what's going on with the family, and you really get to know these characters very well. Symons was a great writer of character. The matriarch of the family, Matilda, is hilarious because she's always misquoting someone or something. The father of the family is sort of a traditional Tory conservative. If it's modern, it's bad. If it's from 100 years ago, it's good. That kind of person. And the way the plot sort of gets into gear is this is a time when there's a lot of debate in Parliament about the Irish question. And one of the main characters, the MP, is in favor of home rule for the Irish. And there's a lot of kind of in the background. There's a lot of attention being paid to possible terrorist activities that may be carried out by the Irish in England and so forth. And then one character who is very minor, who is not even a friend, an acquaintance of the youngest daughter who's in art school, is murdered. And then we move from London to the countryside for Christmas, and more bad things happen there. And then a character figures out the causes or the culprit of these two murders, and that's the end of the book. So, The Detling Secret is not, a traditional mystery with a sleuth following clues who's actively seeking out the identity of the murderer. He is more a person who's involved in the action, who just happens to be very observant and smart, and who figures this out. So, what I'd say is I like this book. I enjoy it. I always enjoy everything by Symons. If you're new to him, I don't think it's the best book for him, the best book for you to start with, just because I think he's done better work. Like, for example, I would recommend The Name of Annabel Lee, which is one of my favorite books of his, and that's just off the charts excellent. But if you're looking for sort of a civilized, very English read with a little bit of mystery, a little bit of crime, great settings, and great characters, then I would recommend the Detling Secret. And I guess that's all I really have to say about this one. I will close by saying that Julian Symons is such an amazing observer of people and events, and he's a writer of subtlety too. You know exactly what he's thinking by the way he has his characters act and speak and behave and comment on each other. So, sometimes I say, like, I don't think I would want to be Julian Symons' friend, because I think he'd be very, very aware of my flaws and then possibly, write about them or point them out to me. And, who wants to have his flaws pointed out to him? But that's just a side note. Julian Symons, The Detling Secret. If you decide to read it, please comment here and let me know what you thought. Bye now.